This is the Wiiviewer!
The LilWiiviewer!
And we're gonna review
Wipeout 3 for the Wii.
So this is the third Wipeout game that we played. What'd you think of the other two?
I think the other two were okay, decent. You know, the TV show movie games are like fun to play over a weekend and stuff.
Yeah, those games tried to replicate the actual game show. This game just said, nope, not gonna even bother. Just gonna do our own thing. And that's not to say the game doesn't resemble the show Wipeout.
Which it does.
It's not going to be a faithful representation of the show.
That doesn't mean it's a bad Wipeout game.
In fact, they've completely changed the way the game is played between the first and second game.
And I think it's for the better.
You know, I had a problem with it at first, because I'm like, wow, we're in a 3D perspective now?
Oh god, this is going to be super hard to see what's in front of me.
At times the camera, there were problems.
But it really wasn't that bad, actually. It doesn't have any problems from the past game. Like, for example, in the last one, where if you wanted to skip a replay, you could also hit the button twice on accident and skip the entire course.
Oh, you mean the minor little hiccup? Yeah. That stuff never really was a deal breaker for me. I thought the last two Wipeout games were okay. It got kind of boring kind of quick because games weren't that fun to maneuver through because it just seemed a little dull at times. Now they've completely changed the graphical style, and finally it doesn't look like the zombie corpse of John Hanson. He looks bubbly and fun, even if his ears are sticking out a bit.
It's a more lively game. It's got, I'm gonna say, better graphics for this type of game. You know,
absolutely. I thought the graphics were way better.
Crazy and wacky, and it's just got the overall feel of what Wipeout is.
Now there are 12 different courses you can go through, and they're all different. There are quite a few different obstacles you can go through. Most of the time, they're just retextured versions of the obstacles you've already been through. Wouldn't you agree?
That is true, but I don't think it really matters for me. I like the new looks of different things.
It definitely was something I had to get used to, though. Now, like I said, the game controls differently. You're just constantly running through these levels, which is following a narrow path. But even if you get hit like backward, it wouldn't knock you off most of the time. It would actually push you forward on that path. Even if the path was curved, it would curve you with the path.
Yes, that brings up to another point. Physics is not physics. Basically, you can jump on a big ball and go 20 feet in the direction.
There are multiple times in this game where I'm like, ooh, that person's going to be dead. No helmet's gonna stop that. But I think the game controlled fine.
It controlled very fine. It really only used 3 controls. A to jump, Z to crouch, and the nunchuck to move. And then there's the occasional action commands. But other than that, it's pretty good.
You can play with up to 4 other people, or just, of course, by yourself.
Well, as you go through the levels, you collect rings, money, XP. You're leveling up your character so you can buy new things at the store. I guess you get a better credit card or, like, membership card. And that membership card can get you, new people to say, hey, you're cool, can I join your squad?
And the things that you buy in the store can actually be used to help your character in the actual game.
Which can give you, like, better stats at swimming and running, hit points, or even balancing.
They were very helpful.
Especially in the later stages where those get used a lot.
Now, I do think we should probably talk about the one problem I had with the game. And it was actually an amusing problem. And that's the fact that this game was not done. We ran up against how many glitches, you would say?
Tons!
I only ran into one time where I had to reset my Wii in order to play it again. Most of the time it's just like little things like they're floating in midair. Or
they're not even there.
Or like in the water and like it takes them 10 seconds to realize, oh wait, he's drowned!
There's also times where things just stop. Like once we were walking through a thing and like a wheel that was supposed to, you know, destroy you didn't even move.
The glitches didn't really hurt you, except for that one time, so it could be fun to just mess around with it a little.
It is, because if you know how to use the physics, which I highly doubt you don't, you can use this game to your advantage.
If you want to play a faithful representation of a Wipeout game, try Wipeout 1 or 2. If you want to play a crazier version of Wipeout, I'd say go for this one.
It's not like the show, at all.
But I do think it's worth a rent. What do you think?
I think it is worth a rent. It's actually really fun to play, so you're going to want to rent it again, because it's kind of fun. Fun, but repetitive.
And I agree with you.